Go. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Old Reader, New Reader. We have a special guest today.
Oh.
The lovely, the handsome, the incredible Lars Pearson.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Goodness me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not in evergreen, so we can all be just nice to each other. And
right.
You know,
right.
It's not like a fight to the death.
Right. Good evening, everyone. Lars Pearson, publisher and editor-in-chief of Mad Norwegian Press, formerly of Wizard Magazine. And it is a great pleasure to be here as always. We're going to be, of course, as you hopefully know, be talking about John Constantine, Hellblazer tonight. It's a very odd time of year to be talking about Constantine. Maddie and I were scheduled to do this show in November, and then just for reasons, I got delayed.
Sick.
Yeah, got delayed until now, which is like the day before Christmas Eve. And it's just a little odd and holiday Christmas week to be talking about, you know, John Constantine, but really it's that festive time of year. What better way to celebrate the holiday than John Constantine screaming as he comes down your chimney?
I'm not going to take it a different way because we're less than 5 minutes in. But yeah, I think this is a perfect prelude to Christmas.
There we go.
I think we have a very, let's think about in like sort of a Scrooge sort of era, right? We have a man who is being visited by his ghost, but instead learns nothing.
Yes.
But we'll get to that.
Yes.
So this came up because I guess one evergreen video we did, I had mentioned that I had not read any Hellblazer. I haven't read any solo John Constantine properly. I've only read, I've read a lot of Constantine in other things.
Right.
And I've seen a lot of media with Constantine in that.
Yeah.
So I've seen a lot of Constantine. I've spent time with that character, and I was like, I've never read Hellblazer.
Sure. Yeah.
So you had recommended this portion of this, which is Garth Ennis' run. It's the part of this is called Dangerous Habits. I think it's issues 41 to 46. And the premise of this, and I won't go into like a play-by-play of this because I don't think that's necessary. I think we can just talk and enjoy it. But
sure.
The premise of this is that John has lung cancer, which is of no surprise how he got there, to be honest. And it's actually kind of I like that there's consequences to regular people in their bodies, but he has to figure out how to get out of that.
It turns out that if you chain smoke, it can have adverse health effects.
Yeah, I mean, he was a startling amount of cigarettes. Hi, Sean. Hello.
Is that Sean? Hey, Sean.
Oh my! Look at Peter, Sean. This is great.
Oh.
Thank you, y'all. This is my Christmas present.
Yes, I feel suitably adored. Thank you all.
So this is, I'm the new reader in this one, so I haven't read anything previous to this. Right. I know you mentioned going back and reading Jamie Delano's run, which I will do probably tomorrow, honestly. Because I really enjoyed this. But for going into this, I feel like I was able as a new reader to kind of pick up just fine. I mean, there's some characters in here that I obviously don't know. I don't have a relationship with that I probably would have it would have meant more for me to know them, right? Like Chaz, like Kit and Brendan. I think it's Brendan. I tried to write notes. I don't always. I do this for you, Lars.
No, not all of them pre-exist this story. Chaz does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I was just like, I assume reading so many things. I just assume now that I just don't know things.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So, not really knowing how the show,
this is just a chill convo.
So, yeah. If you're a new reader to Constantine, there's basically like 3 big access points that I'll quickly deal with. One is in Swamp Thing, one is the beginning of Jamie Delano's run, and then one is here, what you read, the beginning of Garth Ennis' run. Now, so I don't know how much those people watching this know or don't know. John Constantine was originally invented by Alan Moore as a supporting cast member in Swamp Thing.
Which I have read that.
Okay, yeah. And Constantine, of course, is just presented as someone who's just thoroughly knowledgeable about magic and the occult. He doesn't really have any superpowers, and nor is he like Doctor Strange. He just has a great knowledge of infernal pacts and rules and occasional spells. I mean, we don't see him practicing magic all that much comparatively. When he shows up in Swamp Thing, he's sort of I always feel he's a little weirdly more upper class because like he's wearing his suit, but it's always very polished, pressed, I should say, and tie is properly tied, and he wears gloves, and he seems to take care of himself a lot more. Later issues, he's just portrayed as a kind of swaggering drunk,
which I like.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
I think that makes him a very. Sorry, I'll probably jump around a lot.
No, please.
To the actual story properly. Just think of it as like us hanging out.
Sure.
Like there's people watching.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
One, the art's incredible, and we can get to that, but I like that he's just mangy and dirty looking, and he's disheveled. And part of that is the cancer, but part of that's not the cancer. That's just John Constantine. And I like that as a character. I like having a character that one is able to get lung cancer. That sounds really silly and weird thing to say, but like just a human character.
Yeah.
In a world where you put him into DC Comics, right? And you've had to have him exist here, but he is just a man.
Yeah.
Who can't get sick.
Yeah.
And he is not healthy by any means. And really is any attraction I think people have to him. Of course, he's a lot more, I think they have made him more attractive in more recent years, right?
Yeah.
Especially with live action Constantine. I'm not talking about Keanu Reeves, but the DC TV shows.
Yeah.
You have a guy who's it's his confidence and it's his charisma that makes him so interesting.
Yeah.
And how he's just kind of a shit. It's after 5 minutes. I can say shit now, probably. Kind of like just shitty guy. And I like that.
Is there? I'm so ignorant. Is there a profanity threshold?
Well, kind of. It's like the first 5 minutes you don't.
Okay.
I think that's changed every once in a while with YouTube, but the Tuesday show, we have a little more allowance than like a Saturday show.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Now that what you're describing, that intensifies in Ennis's run. Ennis basically gives Constantine the sort of social habits that one imagines Garth Ennis himself has.
Right.
As written by Garth Ennis, Constantine takes the business of drinking and friendship and bar culture and brotherhood a lot more seriously than we see him taking it before then. I mean, he has friends. He has friends and he has associates.
Yeah.
But the sort of like just drunken singing, happy that you're together sort of thing. That's more an Ennis thing. I mean, one of the definitive moments in the stories you read was that he goes to see his old friend. Yeah, was it Brendan?
Yeah,
Brendan. And they realize they are freaking doomed. And they just kind of drink themselves into a lovely stupor and they start singing. And Constantine says, you know what? It's all terrible, but I'm with my mate and I'm happy. And you can see that I presume Ennis has done a lot of that bar culture himself.
Let's talk about it actually. So I said I wasn't going to go in order, but I think that's probably the best way to do it since there's only 6 issues.
Sure.
So let's go ahead and jump to that part of it. So I'm skipping over a little bit.
So for everyone watching, if you need to catch up, there was a Swamp Thing run. Jamie Delano, which I can explain, kind of it creates a supporting cast for Constantine because, like, again, he was the supporting character in Swamp Thing. And so then when he's the main character, so Delano sets up a lot of the ongoing characters. Like he gives Constantine a sister. He gives Constantine a niece. He gives him this bestie, Chaz, who drives the taxi around town. He fleshes out this thing called the Newcastle Incident, which is this thing from Constantine's youth where kind of a sex, drugs, rock and roll magic thing went very badly.
Yeah.
And this young girl, Astra, got condemned to hell.
And she's brought up often, right? I've passed this.
Yeah,
I've seen her name in other things.
Well, and she showed up on TV too.
Okay.
But that's considered one of the more ongoing haunting tragedies of Constantine's life. That he failed to save this young girl and she's condemned to hell. And being condemned to hell, it's not fun being condemned to hell.
Yeah.
And also, eventually, like if you're friends with Constantine, the idea is you'll probably wind up dead. Whereas a lot of his friends and associates, and again, they kind of haunt him as ghosts. Or at least he always sees them standing there in a ghost-like fashion. So Delano paves the road with what the series is going to be like. But Ennis comes in here, as long as we're jumping in the Ennis run.
Yeah.
And Ennis just redefines everything from his first issue. And Jesus Christ. So you got Dangerous Habits. Constantine's dying of cancer. And like, it almost feels so banal.
Yeah.
That's what's killing him. Not a demon, not an angry angel. He's not being run down by someone who hates him. It's just cancer. And
I'm glad because you sent me a blog and I didn't write their name down, but
Elizabeth Sandifer has written extensively about this. Yeah.
So I've read through those as well, and I didn't even think about. So in this first issue, he found out he's got lung cancer, and nothing magical happens that first issue. Nothing remotely supernatural. Nothing. It isn't like if you took it just as it is. It's just him finding out he has cancer.
Yeah.
Trying to deal with it. He goes to the doctor. He goes and tours a chemo ward, saying that's for his aunt or his grandmother. Like, oh, she needs to seek chemo.
Yeah.
And then he explores the ward, ends up making a friend there who's dying.
Yeah.
I believe liver cancer.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a bunch of cancers here.
Yeah.
Which is also a very cool character throughout here.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the ghost. I think this is done in a really neat way where he sees his ghosts again. Like he sees the ghosts of people he's hurt before. And he mentions that typically they seek him out in dreams and nightmares and whatever. They seek him out and then he just does what they say, they want, and they go away. And this is the first time he has sought them out. And Astra comes to him. It's like, no, you're dying. This is your time. Your death has come to you. And it's like he is on this other side now seeking them out. It's a very different sort of dynamic with him where he's truly helpless. And it's very interesting. I like that first issue, kind of just grounding that before we get into, all right, how would Constantine deal with this? Here's just a normal person.
Yeah, and there's no real expectation that he's going to cast a spell that's going to heal him or make him immortal or whatever, or he's going to make a pact with the demons. Like he's dying, and that's it. Kind of backing up slightly, the Delano run in many, like the first half of it especially, is excellent. Now, I don't care for when, as you say, the first issue here doesn't read like a Constantine story necessarily. It very quickly becomes one with issue 2. I think that's good because there is a story from the Delano run that does bug the hell out of me. I might be the only one. It's called The Family Man, and it's where Constantine is dealing with a serial killer, just an ordinary serial killer, who does happen to kill Constantine's father, his abusive dad. But the thing is, and I don't necessarily wish to spoil it, the solution to that story, I actually kind of hate it because it's not a Constantine solution. It's a human being cop solution to it. So, whereas you're right, here, the first issue is not necessarily Constantine, but the second one definitely is.
Yeah.
The second issue, Constantine, knowing that he's dying and there's really not much to be done about it except, hang on and wait, goes to see his friend Brendan. Now, his old mate Brendan. Now he's arrived on this day of all days that Brendan has made. He's dying. He's dying because he's made a pact with the devil that he wanted to create these excellent.
Yeah, this great ale.
Great ale. He wanted this magical ale, and for that he's willing to sell his soul. But as part of the terms, the devil has to collect his soul by midnight.
Yeah, of that day. And it sounded like maybe he was just already dying and decided to make that call.
I think
because Constantine, I love this part because it's such a, to me, it's so funny. Because he shows up and they're having a good time, they're drinking, they're talking, and Constantine's like, "Hey, man, I was just really hoping you could cure my cancer."
He's actually gone to Brendan. Wondering if Brendan has some means.
And Brendan's just like, "Shit, man, I was going to ask you the same thing.
I was going to ask you if I can get out of this devil's pact."
Yeah. And it was just like, "Oh, well, no, you're both just going to die of cancer." And then so he shows him about the drink. Oh, and I love this bit. It's such a good Constantine issue. When you talk about Constantine decisions and Constantine solutions to problems.
Well, yeah, because what happens is, so Brendan does die, and the devil shows up to collect him. And I guess we'll just spoil this.
Because, we can. This is a spoiler show. It's fine.
This is the most infamous Constantine story ever.
Yeah.
That is, Constantine says, "Oh well, hey, devil, first of the fallen, why don't we have some, just have a drink and have some delicious ale here?" But the thing is, the ale is actually holy water, and the only thing keeping it ale are these these candles are keeping the spell going. And so once the first of the fallen has drank it, Constantine kicks over the candles. It turns back to holy water. It makes the devil go kind of explodey, and therefore he misses the window to claim Brendan's soul.
So Brendan's safe.
Yeah. Now, no, that's the thing. No, the Keanu movie. We could talk about that.
I've never seen it, and at this point, I think I would be too bothered. I've seen enough Constantine things. I think it would bother me.
I have an odd relationship with the Keanu movie.
Interesting.
But for me, this story, it's interesting because we have seen Constantine be human before this. I mean, but it is actually a little rare that he is entirely selfless.
Yeah.
Like prior to this, he'll go and help his niece because his niece was kidnapped, and his sister's like, "Can you get my daughter back? Can you get your niece back?" So it's not like he won't help you, but here, this is he's dying he's soon going to die. And to save his friend, who no one asked him to, he royally pisses off the devil. And the devil's like, "Well, you're going to die soon, buddy, and I am going to go out of my way to particularly torture you. I mean, normal hell is bad, but I'm going to make it exceptionally ghastly." And it like I say, it's rare for Constantine to be that selfless.
Do you think it's because, and this is just me only having read this, right?
Sure.
Making conclusions. Mm-hmm. Do you think it's just because he's dying that he's making these decisions? Or you think it's like dying, so I want to do good things, or dying and I'm like, hey, F you. I'm going to create so much chaos on my way out.
Yeah. Constantine is a character kind of, there's a lot of discussion to be had about how actually much of a good person he is. It's a mistake.
Because I'd argue by the end, he's not at all.
Yeah. It's I mean, nobody would be accused of being Captain America, but only in the last 15 odd years has he been swanning around Justice League Dark and things like that. Yeah. Before then, there's a lot of stories, even in Garth Ennis's run, where weirdly, Constantine is kind of only a good person by virtue of his being the least terrible person in the vicinity.
Right.
It's actually not always that he's a good person. It's that in later stories, or before this, like politicians and the elites using magic for their own selfish purposes to abuse the masses or abuse people, that horrifies Constantine.
Yeah.
I mean, he would never on his worst day use magic to become Jeffrey Epstein or whatever.
Yeah. That
said, again, it's that all of the people around him are so hideous that they wind up making him look kind of good.
Yeah.
frequently he's not, because this is a guy who, he often out of necessity, most of his friends are horribly killed. Mm-hmm. And he's the sort of person who, I mean, even the opening issue of Delano's run, to save the world, he has to condemn, or save London, I think it's to save some tens of thousands of lives. He has to condemn one of his friends to the most ghastly, painful deaths imaginable. That's the sort of person he is. I mean, Constantine saves the world by murdering his friends, if needed. He's that sort of person. But so, like, how much of it? But here, he genuinely is a good person, or at least in this phase. It's always, for me, it's touching to see, because you don't see that too often.
I wonder if it's because he's close to death.
Possibly,
because he talks about at the beginning. Sorry, my hair looks crazy. Seeking out those ghosts that typically seek him out, right? So already it's showing like an awareness of guilt and seeking comfort.
Yeah,
which I'd argue that once he has a chance to save himself, he doesn't care about at the end of this, which I think is very interesting.
Well, I mean, like I said,
I think he does, but like it's obvious. A person who cared for everyone and trying to help everyone would not make the choice that he did.
No, he knows he's going to hell regardless, because he cannot be so delusional as to think he's going to heaven.
Yeah.
But again, to royally piss off the devil like that. Actually, that might be my favorite Constantine single issue ever. Is issue 2 of this, the manner in which he saves Brendan, because it's very atypical. Again, I don't. This is the thing with Constantine, why he's so fascinating of a character, because we shouldn't paint him as a cold, heartless bastard.
Yeah,
that's absolutely not true. But the degree to which he's a hero has limits.
Well, and I also wonder, like, if it's sometimes he just likes being the smartest person in the room.
Sometimes.
So we saw a situation of like, I can be a little cheeky and difficult right now.
Sure.
And I think that would be a really good time.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I'm already drunk and I'm dying.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate these guys anyways. Let's just go ahead and make it difficult. Like, let's just go ahead and make it a hard time for you. This would be a really good laugh if I did this.
Yeah, sometimes he's the sort of character like, I know I'm screwed, but while I'm screwed, I'm just going to manage to give you the great big finger in the process.
Right, which, I mean, I guess technically happens at the end of this. Oh, which is great. Okay. So then we move on to the Friends in High Places issue. I think that's where he goes and seeks out Gabriel.
Right.
Referred to as the snob, which I thought was great.
The snob.
That was cool too to me. Of course, I don't have any background or anything how they view angels in like Constantine verse, right? And how this works. But that was, I mean, it wasn't like a pivotal issue, but I think that was really fun to see the difference of like setting up as far as the world building here. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, you can go visit angels like this, but angels themselves, like Gabriel, are still inviting and parading around horrible people.
Yeah.
And then trying to have this guise of like propriety and like, you know, they're very put together and like the pomp and circumstance of entering the building and all of those things while you're no different.
No, no. I mean, the world might be very different if the angels were truly benevolent and could be relied upon to swoop in and save you. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing about Constantine. It's just that he knows people, and he knows the snob, and the thing is, like, you know, there's a certain degree to which he tries not to be desperate, and yet everyone knows he's desperate.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, the snob, as he calls himself, you know, quickly figures out like the only reason isn't the only reason you're here because you're dying of cancer, and no matter how much you pretend, it's not, you know, because of that. That's why you're here.
Yeah,
clearly, because like, Constantine, for all of his bravado, doesn't actually want to die.
Yeah, and I like the way it ended, because I like this having this be like the pivotal moment where at the end there's a quote I typed down that I'm running about the place looking for help from other people, but I usually rely on myself, don't I?
Yeah. And
that's me choking that, crying about that, like a sob. It's beautiful. But I like the step of that. And also there's one part of this issue I really liked, which is just the beginning nightmare imagery of the cancer was really, I wanted to say, but I was like, maybe that's too much for YouTube. I don't know. But I mean, it's like very Akira, like blown up sort of body part, like just grotesque. Oh, so cool.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we don't need to dwell on this too much. I mean, I presume, like myself, you reach an age where you've known people who've died of cancer. And for me, it's at this point multiple. And it takes on different forms, but it's awful. It is genuinely legit awful.
Yeah.
I never quite know what to say to these people. I've learned the older I get in these situations just to say less. And it's not because I don't care, but it's because I always feel like they need something I can't provide. They need a cure for cancer. I'm always like, I'm here for you. What can I do for you? Can I do something? I can't give them what they need.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, I'm here to bear witness.
But I would argue almost like there's a thing that I really appreciated that Constantine did throughout this, which is when he met Matt, the other cancer patient that's in the chemo ward.
Yeah.
Who I really like that relationship as well. I like that he still honors that and goes back to him. But he sees almost himself in this guy. This guy, like, he was just like, I got cancer. I'm going to smoke and drink so much.
Yeah, I know.
And we're just going to see when it hits, you know? But he's like, I'm here and I'm his friend. I'm just here and talking to him. And that's what this is. He's a normal guy to me. It's not like, oh, woe is me or woe is us. I mean, they have something in common there, obviously. But it's a very, like, let's shoot the shit together. Yeah,
these people who've managed to... I don't smoke. I've never smoked.
I'm allergic. I got the cool kid allergy, which means I can't.
No kidding.
I'm allergic, which I wouldn't anyways.
But these people who I suppose at a certain point it's like if you are truly beyond hope, then just keep smoking. Because my uncle by marriage, he managed to smoke himself to death. Yeah. And it was the sort of thing where, like, you know, as he's trending into the terminal zone, he's still smoking. And he's smoking around high oxygen equipment, you know.
Because by that time, they're like...
I guess the idea is like, well, because I mean, there's certain, you know, it depends on how bad it is. There's some thought, because these days, the number of, you know, people who recover from cancer is, you know, you have some decent shots. But yeah, no, he kept smoking, and then he got near the oxygen, and there was this big flame thing and everything else. And then in his case, they were at the dinner table, and then one day he kind of leapt up and he went, "Help me," and then he fell over. Yeah. And that was it. He was gone. Yeah. Sorry, everyone. We don't mean to go on too much about this.
It's the night before Christmas Eve. I just feel like everyone needs a nice... We're helping you all. Okay, we're going to bring down the mood and expectations.
No, I know. Yeah.
Hopefully that'll help your Christmas.
Well, and I've lost quite a few people to cancer, really. So yes. Anyway, moving on. Yes, he does have a very touching relationship with the man in the cancer ward.
So I guess let me go to the next issue, which is just his like settling his debts, saying his goodbyes across everyone, which I feel like is, if I had read more, is probably more impactful. But I still liked to see these different parts of him, of saying goodbye to his sister, Chaz at the airport, his letter to him, like, I wouldn't be able to say that to your face, and all of that stuff.
Yeah. Because Constantine doesn't treat Chaz all that well.
I can tell by how he wrote to him.
Yeah, I mean, even because, you know, as on the Evergreen show, you know, we're all friends and we wind up insulting each other. In fact, I was going through a unpleasant phase of life, and Omar said, "Look, come to Heroes Con and we'll spend the weekend, you know, drinking and insulting each other." I'm like, well, that sounds wonderful. Let's do that. But even in that spirit, he doesn't treat Chaz very well at all. And then, as you say, that letter, I mean, that's how Chaz got to know he's dying.
Yeah.
Is because he doesn't really hold back in that letter to his friend.
Which I love. I mean, it's a great letter, because it was just like, hey, I know I always say that you owe me stuff, and I'm lying. It's basically it's like, I'm just creating situations to where you think you owe me things and putting you in difficult positions, and really creating a massive debt of these situations I put you into. Yeah. That's my bad. Here's some money to buy a new taxi. I'm dying. I don't want to have to tell you.
Yeah.
See you later. I mean, tells his sister as well, but not in a very Constantine way of, like, not saying he's dying. He's like, I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
Like, this is it.
Yeah. Well, and some people are just terrible at saying things to people's faces. You know? Yeah. I sort of have a friend like that in my orbit. Like, I don't think he's dying, but he's been having some thingies of late. And I worry that, like, I was like, if he got a diagnosis, I'm not sure he would tell me. I mean, I don't think he is. I'm probably, but I did entertain the idea. I'm like, is he worse off than he seems? And he's just, because I don't think he would.
I think some people are that way. I wouldn't. That's not me. That's for me. I feel like I tell everyone everything, but I wouldn't be able to do it in normal, serious. It would have to be a joking tone, which is not always. That's how I communicate with trauma and things in my life.
One friend of my dad's was undergoing chemotherapy, and to amuse people, he would rip out hunks of his hair, you know, and have a good laugh about it. And I'm like, okay,
I get it.
Sure.
I'm not.
Well, there's been plenty of instances in my life where you can laugh or you can cry.
Yeah, and I think that's how I've always dealt with it.
You choose laughter as best you can. Yeah. One friend of mine, his father died, and at the funeral, I said, "Listen, do you want this somber and respectful or Saturday Night Live?" And he said, "I would like Saturday Night Live, please." And we're like, "Okay, sure."
Which I appreciate. And this is going to be a tangent, real quick, or not tangent, but just a same vein, but not Constantine related. I watched a great video. It was Conan O'Brien, because his dad had died, and a couple weeks later, his mother had died. Okay. And so a friend had reached out to him, condolences. Okay. And like, hey, I'm just, checking on you. And then he mentioned, like, so-and-so wanted to reach out to you as well, but wasn't sure if you were in a good place or how to do it. And then, so Conan responded, "Oh, I know he had something to do with it." Just like making that type of joke. And like, okay, so that's where we're at now. So then that person messaged him the next day and was like, "You'll never catch me," or something. And then like 2 weeks later, very quickly, his mother passed away, or whoever the other parent was. Mm-hmm. And then like a similar text, like send a text to him like, God damn it, you can't keep getting away with this. Like,
yeah,
and that's the kind of tone I appreciate around death, especially in my life.
Well,
like, kind of like,
yeah, it depends who you are. There was one friend of mine, and God, she was wonderful. She and I had the same sense of humor, so we clicked instantly.
yeah.
She was dying of cancer, and among the jokes I remember, she was getting chemotherapy. And what she told me was that she hoped to get irradiated so much that she could turn out the lights and she would just be sitting there, a glowing green skeleton, as people came into the room. And she thought that would just be awesome.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, yeah, no, absolutely. And then she died 3 weeks later. So, yeah.
So I'm just preparing everyone here that if anything were to happen to me, I will be joking, and if I'm to die suddenly, I expect jokes in my funeral.
Of course.
If I die tomorrow, it's gonna be really awkward for everybody here. So
yeah.
But now you've all heard me, so you all know.
Yeah.
So
anyway, yes. So carrying on.
We get to the end of this, and it's I love how it feels so Constantine and so fun. Near death condition. We're here for your ups, your downs.
I know.
Listen,
we're here to bear witness to you.
I really like that. Can we I think that's how you should, if you're going to like see someone or hang out. Yeah. Like, I'm here to bear witness to you.
I like how that poodle is now presenting itself as the specter of death.
I like
an avatar of death. Yeah.
Someone should write that book.
It is a cute doggy. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Robbie. I appreciate it. So at the end of this, we have this great moment where, he said his goodbyes to everyone. And I guess he's going back to an old building of his. And he's like, I think I figured this out.
Mm.
And before he goes, like, I feel like I'm dying. I can tell I'm dying right now. This is going to be like my last day. Which I'm very impressed that both Brendan and him and Constantine are able to just predict their death of the day. There's like, I think today's it.
It is remarkable because Brendan on the whole doesn't seem like he's dying. He doesn't feel like he's dying in the next 5 minutes.
He's like, nah, it's today.
Yep, okay. Here it is. A cat.
So you're just lucky that Constantine came by that day, I guess.
They're like, how cats go into the closet, when it's their time. I guess Brendan's in the closet. And
I guess if you do magic, you just know.
Constantine's in the closet.
So right at the end, he decides he's going to separately summon 3 different devils or demons. I don't know which.
So,
I assume there's like 3.
This sort of does predate this story. It cropped up in Sandman that hell had become a triumvirate. And it
is that when Lucifer left and then
well, it's actually prior to that because in the first year of Sandman, the first year of Sandman kind of has everything. Mm-hmm. And there's a Constantine one-off in issue 3, and then issue 4 is that Sandman goes to hell and discovers that there's 3 rulers of hell, and one is Lucifer, essentially, whatever he's called. The other is Beelzebub, and oh god, I'm ashamed to say I can't remember the third one. So there's 3 of them.
Yeah,
and so Constantine has a quiet talk with each of them privately. Yeah.
Which I love. I love that he does it. We don't see who they are yet. Just sort of like I summon one. I promise something. I clean everything away and use brand new candles so no one can tell it I've summoned before, and I do it again. Yeah. And I like the way that is set up. I think that's a fun way to kind of go into it. Mm-hmm. And we get to the Sting, which is part 5. Everyone starts to show up because he just goes and cuts his wrist.
Yeah, finally
he's like, I'll plan this out on time.
Yeah, well, because the devil's been kind of like, when you die, and
like sniffing around.
Like, you know what? It's happening right now. And he opens this, and then the devil's like, oh, wonderful! I'm here to watch.
Which that's a great design for him as well.
Yeah, it's quite a powerful cliffhanger, actually, because because Constantine's wrists are spraying blood everywhere, and he's kind of screaming in agony, and there's the devil hanging over him going, ha!
And I love the way that he looks as well.
Oh, God.
That very like Jesus-like look where he's got like the horns coming out, but they're the thorns and the bramble. Oh my God, that's so good.
It's a shocking piece of art. Yeah,
very good. As someone who was raised Catholic, I just appreciate any sort of imagery like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And then the way that the rest of them start to show up, he thinks, oh, well, I've got you now. No, actually. And then the rest of them start to show up.
Yeah. So to explain, so he, sorry, again, we're spoiling the most Constantine story ever. He has privately bargained with each of the 3 different lords of hell to sell his soul to them, because by the rules, if you've sold your soul to them, they have to collect. Mm-hmm. They must. Well, see, but again, of course, the devil doesn't collect by the deadline for Brennan's soul, but we're going to ignore that.
Yeah.
The 3 of them
they had rules.
So Lucifer's like, well, I'm going to claim his soul, and Beelzebub's like, well, wait a minute, I'm going to claim his soul, and the other one's like, wait a minute, I'm going to claim his soul, and by the laws of hell, each of them has to collect. And if they don't collect, they have to go to war. And they realize if Constantine dies, the 3 of them are basically legally obliged to go to war with each other, and it will destroy hell. And so like, well, shit, we can't let him die.
I love this part because they're all talking about, they're all still trying to figure out, how do we get out of this? What do we do? Who takes it? How does this all work? And I love the moment where Constantine's like, I'm not even gonna let you think anymore. You have to figure it out now.
Yeah.
And he does it more. He releases more.
Yeah.
And they're like, shit.
now he's like imminently dying. Yes.
Yeah.
And then so they're like, all right, you know what? We're gonna have to bring him back to life. And Lucifer goes, I'm gonna cure your cancer now, but I'm gonna do it in the most horrible and painful way possible. And so they cure his cancer, bring him back to life, because it's the only way that hell can avoid destroying itself. Now, you'd think from this point he would sort of be de facto immortal, because anytime he'd be in imminent danger of dying, you'd think that one of the lords of hell would show up to go, whoa, we can't have that, or all hell literally breaks loose. But that aspect, of course, increasingly over time gets dropped because it's kind of a boring aspect.
Well, and imagine at this point, too, you have 3 devils, incredibly angry at you, but now they have time to think about, because, I mean, contracts and hells are all about loopholes, right? They have time to think about alternative ways to maybe fix this and circumvent it. So he's really only stayed it for a little bit.
Yeah. There's a certain aspect of, well, we'll fix him for now, and then we'll give this some thought, and then try to screw him over later.
In the end where he flips him off and he's like, one last thing, fellas, up your... It's so good. That's so good, because he's getting dressed. He's not looking at them.
Right.
He's like, I'm not even going to look. I'm just glad to be done. I'm going to get dressed. I'm going to leave. And then sort of turns around and flips him the bird. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. Well,
That's
this is Constantine. He just can't stop spitting in people's...
He just can't be an asshole. You can't leave it.
He can't stop being an asshole. Yeah. First he slits his wrists, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to slit my wrists even more. Yeah. And then it's like having bargained with all... Now I'm just going to tell you F off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that about him. Yeah. I get why people are so drawn to him, especially in this kind. So I'm like, this guy... I mean, I think he's predictable and complicated, but in a way that I really enjoy. Like, he's not... he's a good character writing wise. He's not a good character in morality sense at all. No. Like, I love when we get to the epilogue. There's this section I wrote down, which I think perfectly shows that, like, if he's truly a good guy, this would not have been the move to take. This is a completely selfish move that could have ruined everything for everyone.
Sure.
He says, I was prepared to have hell rip itself apart over my soul, to have heaven win the war, to condemn everything that's ever lived to the slavery of angels. So basically, you were just like, if this doesn't work, I'm ruining everything.
Humanity is screwed in a different way.
Yeah. Like, on his way out, just like...
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost a little sad that the angels in heaven are portrayed as, so... sterile, because but it's a plot device, because if the angels were truly, and heaven was truly magnificent, then you're like, well, Constantine should be working on ways to bring down hell, because then heaven winning would be awesome. But that's not really how it's portrayed here.
But I think it's a world building industry. I think you have, like, if the rules are set in place in that way, where the devils are a certain way, but heaven, is full of, like, a lack of choice, or whatever, sort of however they see the slavery of mankind, then your best, most just person is someone like Constantine that kind of toes the line there and keeps everyone in check.
Yeah, I actually get a little tired of stories that are like, well, the good side and the bad side are just equally terrible. And it's like, okay, come on.
Yeah.
That's number one, that's just absurd. And number two, there's such a grotesque cynicism to all of this. And I think it's because, the last 10 years, so many of our heroes and fictions have been absolutely trashed. It's like people with Star Wars is like, well, I wanted to see that show that the Alliance was, in its own way, they weren't as good as they said they were. I'm like, why the hell would you want to see that?
Well, in Star Wars, that does make me upset.
Yeah, why the hell would you want to see that the heroes are corrupt and stupid and self-serving? What? Why?
Yeah. I think it works in this story. It's not something I like in everything.
Sure. Yeah.
But I'm also someone when I play like D&D, I am like a lawful good. If I'm playing a video game, I'm making like good choices, even though they're not real. It doesn't matter.
Maybe I'm fooling myself. I'd like to think that I'm chaotic good.
I think so.
So we do a good.
No, I think that for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, no, he wins, and then of course one of the I think it's in the epilogue that he of course goes back to the cancer ward and discovers that his buddy has passed away. Which and this is actually not someone he's known that long.
No, but he's really attached to.
Really attached, yeah, because the two of them just click.
Yeah.
It's like I say, my friend who passed away. We were just so intertwined so quickly. But yeah, I mean, she died 3 years ago. I still miss talking to her.
Well, I think that there's people that you just click with in a way like that just don't leave you.
No.
No. Especially, and that's not all romantically. Some of it's just friends where it's just like there is such a strong.
Sure.
And that's what he had. He saw someone who was like a mirror of himself, who gave him advice. He's like, you don't know her. You don't know this person. He's like, but I know you. Right. Like, you guys have talked maybe 3 times.
Right.
But he knows him. I mean, so on point. And it was interesting because, he sees him die, but he leaves before they can say the time. Mm-hmm. And in Constantine in mind, that's him being selfish and cold. Yeah. But you saw an awful traumatic thing. Mm-hmm. And not that you had a plan going in there, but you just had a plan to, I have to see him, as if your involvement or not is going to affect whether he dies or not. You can't save him. But still, he was like, I can't even live in that anymore. So no. It's not a cold thing. The way that Constantine sees himself and his failings is interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so those of you listening, I mean, if you haven't figured this out, there's basically like Garth Ennis, Hellblazer, and there's like all other Hellblazer.
Yeah.
And I'm not even the biggest, unapologetic Garth Ennis fan, but I mean, this is the case that even though Alan Moore created the character, Garth redefines him. And it's weird how, like, in a way, his very best story is that first one.
Yeah.
It is Dangerous Habits. Now, not that the rest of his run isn't worth reading. It is. Eventually, Steve Dillon takes over the art, and Steve Dillon is always great. They do Hellblazer, and of course, Garth and Steve go off and create Preacher. So,
and I love this. There's not I remember liking just fine what I read of Preacher. There's a lot of Garth Ennis I don't like.
I am,
but I liked this a lot.
Yeah, I'm quite hot. I sometimes do run hot and cold with him. There's some
I hate The Boys. I hate it.
I
hate it. I like the show. I hate that comic. That's the thing. Never show it to me.
I've seen more of the show. I've actually seen more of the show. I did finish the rest of his Hellblazer run is very good. That knockout punch of Dangerous Habits. So eventually, what happens? I mean, this isn't anything too much. Eventually, he comes in because Brendan has that former girlfriend.
Yeah, Kit. Miss Ireland.
Mm-hmm. And then she becomes Constantine's girlfriend.
That's why I figured. I mean, they had a thing. That was obvious.
Yeah, and Kit is she's quite an interesting character because I mean, she's a little older, and wiser to the world.
Yeah.
So her dynamic with, I mean, in some ways, she is the greatest love of his life. Mm-hmm. He's had other girlfriends. Well, see, the stereotypical Constantine story is that he had a girlfriend, there was some magic dabbling. She died horribly, and then blah 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 blah. That's kind of the template. But here, they actually have quite a strong, touching relationship.
Yeah.
Even as he's still dodging the First of the Fallen and things like that. So some quite
I definitely would like to read more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'll just start from the beginning or read more after this, but I really like this. I like the art more so in the first 5 chapters before the epilogue, but I really like the art throughout still. I really really liked it.
It gets a little up and down, or they have some guest artists. When Steve Dillon takes over, then Dillon kind of becomes the ongoing artist. Dillon and Ennis basically were fast friends. It seems like, I don't know, but it's reading interviews and stuff, it seems like they were fast friends, and they got to drinking in bars, and they got to discussing what they felt comics could be and what they wanted comics to be like, and they discovered they were very much on the same page. And so watching them work on Hellblazer is a true 2-step. And then really again that just transitions over to Preacher. Now I have more issues with Preacher than I have with Hellblazer. For me, the Hellblazer run, for me, their Hellblazer run is much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Even though it's dealing with Constantine. So again, if the rest of you are looking for suggestions, so first of all, Hellblazer, it was originally going to be, I think I'm right in saying it was originally going to be called Hellraiser.
Okay.
And then they did, because I don't know, they just didn't want to call it John Constantine.
Yeah.
And then they discovered that was in conflict with the Clive Barker series.
Right.
Hellraiser. So they were like, okay, we'll call it Hellblazer instead. It's like a hell jacket. You could start with the Delano run, but Hellblazer is kind of defined by these writers who come on and have tend to be very lengthy runs. Mm-hmm. Some more successfully than others. I would finish out Garth's run. It's pretty terrific.
Yeah.
I think Omar said that Paul Jenkins's run is his least favorite.
Okay.
I don't want to speak for him, but I think I'm right in saying that. There's other ones all over the place. The Delano run. The one that's controversially interesting for me is the Brian Azzarello run. Azzarello wrote. He got it because he was writing 100 Bullets.
Yeah.
And on the strength of that, got to writing Hellblazer. Now, I find his run quite interesting. It is hard to follow.
Okay.
And it doesn't always explain itself. Basically, that's the one that opens with Constantine is in prison.
Yeah.
And it's a prison drama, and much like Rorschach, in Watchmen, the idea is, well, I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me.
I do always like that.
Yeah.
As cheesy as it is, I enjoy that.
Yeah. Trope. And so, Constantine, everywhere he goes, cannot help but piss people off.
Yeah.
Sometimes, most of the time, let's face it, he does it himself. Sometimes they just don't like the look of his face. But there's a scene in the prison story where they're like, oh, this Constantine guy's pissing him off. All right, we're gonna kill him. We're gonna put some powdered glass in his food, and that's gonna get him. And then somehow the guy who puts the powdered glass in his food, he suddenly is vomiting blood and dying of poison glass. And you don't know, like, did Constantine magic that in? Did he, what's going on?
Yeah.
It's quite interesting. So there's the prison it's not explained why he's in prison. Yeah. It's in an American prison, by the way.
Ooh, no wonder.
Yeah. And then they do some issues of that. Then he gets out of prison, and then he goes on a journey across America or around America, and you start to piece together all sorts of things. It's only toward the end of Azzarello's run that you start to figure out what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
Why the hell is he in prison? Who put him there? What's all these seemingly unconnected things? How are they connected? It's also the one story the run that really makes clear that Constantine is bisexual. Because I think had been alluded to in the Ennis run. I think there's just an offhanded mention of a boyfriend that Constantine had. But here the entire plot is derived from Constantine. Okay. It's Constantine and his ex-boyfriend in conflict. By the way, the boyfriend's it's so ridiculous. The boyfriend's name is Stanley W. Manor. It's to stand in for Stately Wayne Manor because essentially he's a Bruce Wayne stand-in.
Yeah. Oh,
Constantine's boyfriend is like this rather, evil shelled Bruce Wayne. I like the Azzarello run.
Add to my list. I don't mind things that have that are confusing, but then kind of everything ties together. I like a puzzle like that if it's rewarding. I think some writers try to do that, and it's not rewarding or a good time for me.
It does get confusing at points. You're not always sure the relevancy of it, and then even when it comes together, at that point you have to have such an encyclopedic knowledge of what happened that you're like, okay, can I work this out?
If I read it all one go, it should be fine.
Well, that's just it. I don't know. It didn't always seem to go down well, and of course, at the time, I don't know if people were feeling kind of ooga booga about the bisexuality. Again, that doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother you. So that's fine.
Maybe it's a plus.
Yeah, the Azzarello run stood out to me, but Paul Jenkins had a lengthy run. Mike Carey had a lengthy run. Peter Milligan, I think, wrote it the longest. The one whose run was curtailed and is underbaked in a way is Warren Ellis, because Warren, having done things like Planetary and Authority and so on, when he took over Hellblazer, people were like, oh boy, this is going to be the best thing ever. And it sort of wasn't. It sort of was.
Well, luckily, I won't read him, so it's fine.
Well, yeah, it sort of was.
I mean, I would illegally, but then I wouldn't talk about it.
It sort of was exactly what you would expect.
Yeah.
I think people were expecting to be surprised, and he was like, well, there's a murdered girlfriend and so on. Eventually, this is where it gets a little weird. Apparently that run, so first of all, I'm not sure it was all that anything special anyway.
Yeah.
It came to a premature end, it appears, because Warren wrote an issue dealing with high school shootings or school shootings. And this, even though he'd written it beforehand, it coincided with Columbine.
Oh.
And DC was like, well, we just can't publish this. At which point Warren, it appears, weirdly quit in a huff. Unless I'm misunderstanding something, I'm kind of on DC's side in that. I mean, I'm all for artistic freedom, but
you do have to be cognizant of things that are.
Of course.
There's nothing wrong with that.
If there's been this horrible national event, why would you put out this story that's just going to aggravate the wound? And by the way, has some odd commentary on how kids in schools have been conditioned for school shootings and things like that. It would not have been good. Well, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, they delayed the finale by a few weeks or something like that. They delayed the finale some. And if you've seen the finale is wonderful. But if you've seen it, you're like, oh, I can see why the hell it's back. And weirdly, there was an episode on school shooting that they really delayed. Significantly. But you do just think that was entirely, given where the nation was.
Yeah, I was just talking to Sean recently from the Comics Pals about how we should do a Buffy review. I've reviewed Buffy a lot when I was on the Omnibus Collectors Network. But never on here because I have all the comic books.
Yeah.
Even though some of them are wild.
But
at least up until Boom, and I was like, I'm done. You guys have
yeah.
But before that, Dark Horse, that'd be fun.
Yeah. Sean's commenting. There was a school shooting episode they delayed. Then it ran out of order. It took place during season 3, but aired after the finale quite significantly. It's actually a very striking episode. It's also an episode where it has been pointed out that the twist is that a character is going to, instead of committing a school shooting, he was going to shoot himself. But he's got a long rifle, and apparently, quite how you're supposed to shoot yourself with a
Right.
You can't handle is defies explanation even by Buffy standards. Anyway, yeah. So there's some very, very long runs of Hellblazer. Yeah, someone mentioned the Cy Spurrier and Aaron Campbell run. That's the most recent one. That one, maybe I was just not in the right headspace. So Cy, there was like a significant interim between the two halves. Like he got out like 12 issues or whatever it was, and then there was a lengthy break, and then he did 10 issues or whatever to wrap it up. That one is interesting because number one, Constantine discovers he has an illegitimate son. And two, and this is given away in the second half, sorry.
Okay.
Constantine is actually killed, but doesn't properly shuffle off this mortal coil, and so he is now literally a dead man walking.
Yeah.
And it's, Constantine shuffling corpse, and his son and a couple friends have to noodle around America to fix this problem. I found this, I'm interested to know what the people in the feed thought. I found the second half kind of got overindulgent and dense. I mean, I'm all in favor of reading in a lot of words, but there was issues. I found it kind of slightly disappearing up its own asshole, and I'm going, exactly how is this relevant?
Yeah, I always wonder what the difference. Like at some point, I just want to read a novel instead of read it as a comic book.
Yeah, I felt the first half had a lot more narrative clarity than the second half. The first half was quite cracking, but yeah. So
before we wrap this up,
yeah,
part of the show is I have to ask you to rate it out of 10.
Rate what out of 10?
So you'll just rate the Dangerous Habits arc. So not the rest of Hellblazer, not the rest of Ennis's run. But if you're going to rate just Dangerous Habits out of 10.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's tricky in that it forever redefines this character, that and that it's Ennis's first work on the title, and it is such a gut punch, and it doesn't need any buildup. It doesn't need any continuity to drive it forward. I mean, in some regards, because we keep talking about it over and over. I mean, in some ways, it is a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Now,
this is for you personally, because I'm okay with not thinking like.
Yeah.
Okay, for like everyone, what would it be? What for you?
Well, what's more important is where would you score it? Because I think
I'm really close to a 10, and so I want to say 9.5 maybe.
Yeah.
I really like this. I think it's something I'll go back to. I think it's something I'll recommend.
Okay.
I really like this. I think if I talk to somebody who's curious about more John Constantine, because I have a lot of friends who watched a lot of like Legends of Tomorrow, which I loved personally. It's one of my favorite DC shows ever.
I have been rewatching Legends of
Tomorrow. It's so good.
To make myself feel better.
God, I might do the same on vacation, and it's either that or I keep watching that gay hockey show, and I think I need to do something else.
The Constantine TV show was,
and I never saw that. I only ever saw Legends of Tomorrow.
Well, even though Matt Ryan is excellent playing the part, Matt Ryan then transferred to Legends. It wasn't that good. It was very short lived. It just. It didn't. It was a very middling fantasy show that would talk about the rising darkness, and his relationship with Chaz was quite different, and
because they bring him back in Legends, I believe, right?
Yeah, it did not get to where it needed to be. It just didn't.
I'm not surprised. I think he's better. I think there's some characters, and I always say it's about Batman as well. I'm much more interested in a show. If you're bringing these characters to life where you have more of the supporting cast and I am just that character by themselves, I feel like I need other people for them to bounce off of. So I liked John bouncing off of these other type of characters to do what he does best.
Sure.
And even the Astra stuff I thought was good.
Yeah. Whereas when he's added to Legends, Legends is firing at all pistons.
Everybody in the chat, please watch Legends. You can skip season 1, okay? That's fine. But please watch the rest of it.
Yeah,
Please.
I do like season 1, but you're right. It
turns so many people off. I'm like
it is the most frustrating. You're right.
To me, it's my favorite comic book show.
Yeah.
At least like DC comic book show. Like that's My favorite one. I think it's the most comic book. It's fun. It's a good time.
There's
a whole IKEA episode. Why? I don't care.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's the roughest. I mean, the Hawk people were.
Oh, I don't care about. Yeah, and I've truth be told, I've never cared about any Hawk person ever in DC Comics. I've tried.
Yeah.
I don't care about them. Stop.
But
showing them to me.
season. Well, because one good thing though, it says Captain Cold in it, and that version of Captain Cold
great.
He's superb.
So
you do miss out on that, but by season 2 they figured things out.
Yeah.
Quickly we should address. So the Keanu Reeves Constantine movie. So.
I want to hear your thoughts about it. I've never seen it. And I do like Keanu Reeves. I'm a Keanu Reeves apologist.
So clearly the people who made that movie had read Dangerous Habits, because in it Constantine there too has some cancer issues.
Okay.
But it's not that's from memory, that is basically all they took away from it. It's like, oh, Constantine, it's not remotely the same story.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, by the way, Constantine's dying because he smokes too much. So there's been some films in the 90s that I've had to reevaluate that at the time, we were having this explosion of shallow blockbusters and shallow movies that clearly they're successfully not trying to spend a lot of money on, and just with not enough attention to the script and the acting and whatnot. And at the time, it sort of felt like the Keanu movie fell into that camp, especially because really, okay, just think, I love Keanu, but his casting as John Constantine was bizarre.
Yeah.
But then it was actually just in recent years with a friend who we were talking, and we were like, there's certain movies from the 90s where, like, we may have underestimated their entertainment value.
Okay.
It's just kind of just focus on, are you being entertained?
Yeah.
And so we actually, well, especially as Keanu started talking that he might play Constantine again.
Yeah, because he's been wanting to come back to it.
He sort of has been making those waves. And so we're like, okay, let's watch it. And so we watched it again, and we're like, my God, we're really enjoying ourselves.
Okay.
My God. We were like, actually, that was a lot of fun. In a really good way.
Yeah.
Like, we felt entertained. So I spent a lot of years kind of being down on the Keanu movie, and now, and again, they shouldn't have cast him.
Yeah.
But in terms of entertainment value, it's actually quite high.
I might have to check it out then, because I love Keanu despite his failings.
Well, yeah. Well, no. I mean, he's made some bad movies.
Bill and Ted, I love so much.
Sure.
Like, I wrote, whole portfolio pieces about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I loved it. I've only seen it once, but actually enjoyed it quite a bit. That said, I saw it when I was a teenager and didn't know anything about the character.
Yeah, well, I think that's it. I think for if you were familiar with the comics, Keanu's casting just seems so incongruous.
Yeah.
That I do understand why the comics faithful were like, what the hell is this?
I think that's why you have to wait till it's not fresh about certain things, because there's certain like media properties that I hold so dear that when they make movies about it, even if those movies are okay, right, I am upset. So like I love the Silent Hill games. They're one of my favorites. The music's incredible. I know all about the lore, all the imagery, everything. I have lived on many forums back when people used forums. And when they made that movie, I was irate. I could not be consoled. I was like, these characters don't make sense. They're part of this character's subconscious. They can exist. Just pretentious and annoying about it. But now, if I go back now, it's okay. I'm like, okay, there's time. There's distance.
Sure.
Now, are they going to do this to me again in January when the new one comes out? Absolutely. I'm going to be miserable to be around. But I think that's that's fine. Everyone knows going in.
I'm one of those weirdos that, like, if I can help it, I don't read the source material. I see the film first, or the TV show first, and then I read the source material.
I think that's healthy.
If you do it the other way around, you're setting yourself. I have this friend in my book club, and like she is obsessed with when films are coming out. She's like, "Oh, I must read the book now."
Oh, see, I don't care about that unless I already have.
But then she'll watch the movie and be cripplingly disappointed, and I'm like, "Have you tried just not reading the book until?" But she won't do it, and she's always disappointed. And I'm like, the problem here might be
if I haven't already read it, I don't need to do that before it comes out.
Right.
Usually, I'll watch it and then get interested and go back.
Yeah.
And then I can make my decisions there.
Yeah.
So normally comic books helps that. but not always. I'll be interested to see like when Supergirl comes out next year because I love that book immensely.
Yeah, that one
I have faith in James. I'm not too worried about it. I'm not. I think it'll be fine.
That one I had the trip up that I read the comic and then only later discovered that this is what they're basing the movie on. Crap.
It better be good.
Well, I bet it will be. Well, no,
I think it will be.
James Gunn is not in the hat. He wouldn't base it on.
I trust. So far, what I've seen, I'm happy with. Even he's not writing it. The direction overall, I have not been disappointed yet.
Yeah.
The bar is low.
Yeah. Sure.
But I'm happy.
So now when Keanu talks about playing Constantine again, we're like, actually, that might be quite fun. But of course, he's not blonde. He's not British. He's a little too.
I don't think he can even do an accent. It's a fun movie. If you think of it as an alternate universe, though, it's much better. Okay, I can see that. I can do. It's like watching, the Mario Brothers movie, which now I prefer.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
The old Street Fighter movie, which I love so much. That movie is so silly. It's so bad, and I love that movie.
Yeah.
So
let's see. Are there any other Constantine to recommend? Again, there's tremendously long runs. Again, stick with. A lot of people read Swamp Thing. You don't have to read Swamp Thing.
I love Swamp Thing. So
Jamie Delano, Garth Ennis. There was a Derek Robertson prestige format that came out recently about falling angels and things like that. That was actually quite good because everything Derek Robertson.
I'm surprised more romance readers haven't written Swamp Thing romance novel properly. That's my question to the world out there. I didn't see any.
No,
at the monster romance convention I went to.
You raise a good point. I will say, isn't it funny that like certainly for me, I do find myself reading a lot more Hellblazer, because I think that I don't as a general rule read a lot of Swamp Thing. I mean, I've read the Alan Moore stuff.
I think he's for the girls.
You think he's for the girls?
Yeah, I think he's for the girls.
Interesting.
That's how I feel about Swamp Thing.
Fascinating. I would never.
I think it's romantic, and I love
it. Sure. Yeah, no, it is romantic.
But to be fair, I think I'm an outlier about that. But that's
you know how Swampy and Abby's daughter comes about, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, but because I read the Scott Snyder run at Lafferty.
He's romantic.
Actually, Sean is right. I wish you would elaborate.
I just think, he's sensitive. He's very empathic.
Okay.
I mean, you see him make love, right? And it's all through the mind. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's just cool.
I was trying to explain this bizarre, the what's called the Abby orgasm issue. I was trying to explain it to a friend, and I said, well. But of course, it begs the question of how do Swamp Thing and Abby have relations? And I said, okay, well, basically what happens is his body develops this tuber and this sweet potato sort of thing. And like my friend is like shocked and appalled because she thinks that something physically has happened with the sweet potato. I'm like, no. She eats the sweet potato and then, his mental communion goes on. So, yeah.
There's a race in Mass Effect that does more mind stuff. I think it's very cool.
Well, of course, this is what Alan Moore.
I have no PG-rated comments. I just love that my friends in the chat know me so well, and I just really appreciate it.
Yeah,
really see it.
Well, because this is Alan Moore's genius. He was there at the right time to take what was otherwise kind of all ages property and then upgrade them to being R or whatever. Because with Swamp Thing, his whole angle is like, but what effect does this have on his girlfriend?
And you know what? People should have been asking those questions in a lot of comic books. And they were just like, I don't know, kill him. I don't know how to deal with it.
Not to get too personal. Would you date Swamp Thing?
Yeah. Yeah. Immediately, no questions asked. Are you kidding? If he showed up right now, I'm leaving. My marriage, my life. Yeah.
Woo. Okay. All right. Okay.
But I am not the norm.
No.
Duh.
Well, this is not a question that had ever occurred to me. I must confess.
You're not creative as me.
Yeah.
So I need to wrap this up because I have to go to the gym early in the morning on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
Like as one does.
Mm-hmm.
Lars, this has been lovely.
It has been lovely.
It's been nice. I like hanging out with you. It's a bummer when we have evergreens are great and I have a lot of fun. They are so long and so regimented we don't get to like chat.
No, we really don't. No,
but I would love to have you on again. I'll try not to be sick or bad at messaging back.
No, it's okay. No, I truly enjoy basking in your company. I really do. Any chance you're going to C2E2? I know it's a ways away.
I really want to. I need to talk to Omar and see. Okay. Sean, shut up. Get out of here. I'm not going to highlight that one. Not that my family's ever going to watch this. Doesn't matter. But no. I do want to go to C2E2 again. I really liked it. I also need to see what my travel schedule is for my job. I have to go on one international trip, and I don't know when that's happening.
Okay.
So I need to get on them and figure out when, and hopefully it's somewhere cool.
Right.
I'm hoping for Germany this year. That's what I'm hoping for.
Oh, okay, that would be cool.
She wants to agree. I'll like that one.
Right.
But yeah, I do want to go. I really want to go to New York Comic Con because I've never been.
Oh, I have been. Yeah, I prefer New York to San Diego actually.
Yeah.
Because we don't mean to go on about Comic Cons. Because New York Comic Con is integrated into the island. Yeah. So yes, there's like a gajillion people there, but you can get in and out of there, and you are somewhere. Comic Con is kind of like, or at least when I went was kind of like over there, and you have to. It's an enormous pain in the ass to get in and out, but New York's no problem. Although,
are you planning on going to C2E2?
I'm stretched too thin financially for these shows.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to figure out what everyone else is doing so we can all decide.
But then a friend of mine said, well, if it makes it easier, I would be interested in going with you to C2E2 and we could split the cost of a hotel room. I'm like, no, that makes it harder because now I have to consider going.
I always room with people. It's easier.
Yeah.
Well, then you get to hang out easier than like.
Right. I hope you do feel a little honored, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned it. I don't normally do karaoke, but I did karaoke with you.
I do feel honored.
I did karaoke with you.
It was lovely.
It was good.
Oh, Sean's considering Heroes Con.
Yeah,
I've never been. I didn't make it to that either last year.
I went last year, but that was when. Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. That and I gather Baltimore, which I've not been to. Thai is the biggest shows in the nation that are focused on just comics. Because if you go there, it's just comics writers and just comics artists and so on. But
it's hard to choose. C2E2 is close for me. I mean, it's 6 hours, but
it's about 5. A
lot of my friends from college all live in Chicago, so that makes it easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. I'll talk to Omar. I'll bug him on New Year's.
I can't really fathom I can make it to Heroes Con this year. In fact, I can't really afford the big Doctor Who show in February in LA. Oh. But weirdly of late, talk about getting morbid. I was having a reunion with my classmates online.
Oh, you're the one I was invited to by accident.
Yes, that's right. Everyone.
I should have shown up.
I go into Facebook and I line up all my college friends. Well, because weirdly we fell into the habit of having an online reunion around my birthday.
Yeah, which I love. Happy late birthday.
We needed the excuse of my birthday to do this, and that was the habit. And so I messed it, and somehow it's because you and I were talking about Hellblazer. Maddie winds up in the.
I just assumed that was on purpose for a second. I was like, I need no context. I was like, all right, yeah, that makes sense.
I was like, shit. Well, you must have been totally perplexed because one of my friends is named Rhubarb. So,
I have a lot of interesting friends.
I am friends with a vegetable. But anyway, some of them are, not doing great, and they impressed upon me. They're like, Lars, if there's something on your to-do or your bucket, do it, do it now. And I'm like, crap! It's like they guilted me into going to Gallifrey. I really can't.
Happens to me all the time.
I mean, not to overshare. I can't afford Gallifrey. There's just no way. But I need to afford Gallifrey. Well, that show only has 3 years left, so it's even more imperative that I go. But
that's why we have to talk to Owen. Like, what other cons so we can know what to get press passes for?
Yeah.
Off topic, I just received almonds in the mail, and they use shredded single issue comics as packing. Who? That's disgusting.
Yeah. Who
coal in their stockings. It's gross.
Who would dare do that? I wonder.
Oh.
Huh. Fascinating.
Shredded.
Disgusting. It's like ordering dog food and it's packed in there with dog skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
you have to wrap it up because I do have to make sure I get up
okay
at a normal time.
Yeah. Well, your company is always much appreciated.
I would love to have you over. It's to my house.
I know.
To have you over again. So I will hit you up. Chat. I'll be here next week. We're reviewing Green Arrow, the newest run, not the newest run, but Joshua Williamson and Sean Ikaze. I never know his name. Okay. But that'll be next week.
Okay.
Lars, do you have anything you want to tell the chat? You're here. You're like a staple. You're here more than I am. So
possibly. Thank you, James. Yes, Lars Pearson, Mad Norwegian Press. We will soon have a moving day sale on our Doctor Who books and whatnot. I've already put up a new page on eBay, but yes, we moved recently, and a lot of the a few cases of out of print books came floating to the top, and I'm like, okay, we need to start shuffling this off here. I've also reached the point in my life that I probably shouldn't have 186 cases of book or leftover publishing stock lying about the place. So yes, but yeah, our specialty is Doctor Who and comics, and with Lance Parkin, I co-write A History, which is the definitive timeline to Doctor Who, over 1 million words.
That's wild.
Yeah, it is wild. So, yeah.
Well, Lars, thank you.
It's been a great pleasure.
People here, if you're watching us later, let us know your thoughts about Constantine or whatever else we talked about. As long as you're nice to me. Comment down below. If you're not nice to me, I don't want to see it. And I'll see you all next time.
Yeah. Good to see everyone. Yeah, have a happy holiday. Good night.